Headed down to around 40 degrees tonight in Morgantown as we welcome the third member of our crew on the sidelines tonight, all bundled up, Holly Rowe.
It's cold down here, but tell you what's hot right now. That is the true freshman running back, Steve Slayton, for West Virginia. Now, he actually verbally committed to Maryland, but things didn't work out, and he found himself here, and he has been a great surprise. He only got significant playing time in the last 3 games. Coach Rodriguez kept seeing this burst, this extra gear in practice. He said, we have to get this guy in a game. Finally gets Virginia Tech. They made the commitment. He rewarded them with 90 yards against the tough Virginia Tech defense. He had 139 the next week, and last game against Louisville, 188 yards and 6 touchdowns. They say this freshman has an extra gear that makes him special. We'll see if he can do that against the Big East top defense in UConn tonight.
Rich Rodriguez may be the most influential head coach offensively in the country. His spread offense has become ubiquitous in college football. 5th year, 2 straight Big East co-championships and New Year's trips to the Gator Bowl. And Randy Edsall in his 7th year has taken this program from 1AA to a BCS conference and a bowl berth. Matt Newsy's kick returned to the 31-yard line. Vaughn Rivers with the Mountaineer return, and Pat White, the redshirt freshman out of Daphne, Alabama. Also a talented baseball pitcher, center fielder, drafted in the 4th round by the Angels out of high school, and said the toughest decision in his life was to say goodbye not only to pretty decent money, but also to one of his lifelong loves, baseball, and go football only here at West Virginia. We will see Adam Bednarik, Craig, at some point, but he expects to be limited. And the first carry is stuffed by a UConn defense that led the nation just a couple of weeks ago. Slayton brought down. Wide receivers in this spread include Jallo, Miles, Renaud, Villagrana for the injured Josh Bailey at tight end, and up front Garrett, Stanchek, Moses, Sheffy, and Justice.
Big, powerful offensive line up front that will make life a lot easier for that young quarterback behind them.
Slayton for a loss of 3 on first down. And 2 tight ends, 2 wides, and White under center on 2nd down and 13. And again, nothing there for Slayton. Fights to get maybe back to that line of scrimmage. The UConn defense still the best in the Big East, with Maine, McPhee, Fuller, and Davis up front. Linebackers, Hargrave, Hennigan, Lansana, and the secondary of Butler, Delliston, Taylor, and Branch. 283 total yards per game. They have dropped from 1st nationally to 6th in the country in total defense in their current 2-game losing streak. White stepping away from the blitz and overthrows his target along the sideline. Pass intended for Brandon Miles, the senior from Goochland, Virginia, the Mountaineers' top receiver, and a quick 3-and-out on West Virginia's first possession.
And a great effort by the defense at UConn. It was almost as if UConn was expecting the first couple of plays that they had come their way. Negative plays for UConn tonight is critical on defense. Getting across the line of scrimmage and putting Bednarik or Pat White into a long passing situation. That's not something that they're used to dealing with.
Phil Brady, senior transfer from East Carolina. A little bit of a rollout. And a low bouncer taking a good West Virginia roll. Down inside the 20. 53, about half of it rolled. So we'll see Dennis Brown now, the freshman from Miami, in his 2nd collegiate outing. Got fairly good reviews for his first start against Rutgers. He had 18 of 35, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Matt Bonoslawski started their first 5 games out with a broken collarbone. DJ Hernandez, a redshirt freshman, may play tonight. He has been cleared. He's got a wrist issue, but they hope that they won't need DJ, and Brown can handle it all night long. Right to the air at about a 4-yard gain to Jason Williams. We check the Husky backs and receivers, and Cauley joined in the backfield by Lou Allen, Williams, Young, and Murray at the tight end. And up front, Preston Applebaum, Tonsing, Hutcherson, and Berry. The only real experience there is Preston, the senior at left tackle. This is his 43rd game. Coming into tonight, the rest of the offensive line totaled 40 career starts. So 2nd and 5. And on the option, Brown still gets it into the hands of Cawley, and the Mountaineers stretch it out. West Virginia defensively 3-3-5. The three up front. Dykes, Liebig for a banged-up Ernest Hunter, who should play, and Wilson. Three linebackers, Noshel, Henry, and McLee. And they have an extra safety in this five-man defensive backfield. McCann, Wicks, Lorello, Adai, and Mims. Mike Lorello, the leader of that group, in his 34th starting appearance tonight. So loss of 2 on the option, 3rd and 7. And overthrown after the play fake. Intended for the fullback, Lou Allen. Both teams go 3 and out on their first possession.
And for Connecticut, getting a good positive play on first down, to not take advantage of that has to have Randy Edsel a little bit fuming over there. And it was just late. You know, Dennis Brown has to get his body around. The tempo of this game here against a top 20 team is going to be significantly faster for him. So on the sidelines, I'd be saying, hey, fella, you got to get that head around. The game's faster tonight.
Shane Hussar. And the up man, Rivers, past midfield. Vaughn Rivers to the 38-yard line. 35 on the punt, and 19 by number 19, Vaughn Rivers. So the Mountaineers on their second possession inside the Husky 40, just getting started from Morgantown. Back in Morgantown, and the West Virginia Mountaineers set up inside the UConn 40 for their second possession. 12:28 in the first quarter. And Pat White with Owen Schmidt joining him in the backfield out of the shotgun. That pass to Reynaud. And the Huskies close quickly on Darius Reynaud, sophomore from Butte, Louisiana. Butler and Taylor getting to him.
Shows you the arm strength of Pat White and how quick he is with the ball. Watching him in pregame throw it, very impressed with his ability to get the throw to the outside, especially the long throw. You saw him there getting the call from the sidelines, and coaching staff sending a play, and after they see the defense.
And that play being changed as they stay in the arm on 2nd and 4. Slayton bounces this one outside where there's lots of room. Good downfield blocking. And Slayton will be marked out inside the 1. Darius Butler prevents a touchdown, 32 yards for this true freshman from Levittown, Pennsylvania.
Woo! Now you see what Holly Rowe was talking about in pregame. Watch the speed of Slayton. Stays inside the fullback's kick-out block. Nice job of his offensive linemen staying on their blocks, kicking out. And the speed down the field, outstanding. The coaching staff raved about his speed. Slayton running against Virginia Tech and running away from that defense. You know he can run away from this defense.
6 touchdowns, tied the conference record against Louisville. And UConn up on 1st and goal inside the 1. And knock him back outside the 1. Ray Blagman from defensive tackle with first contact on Slayton.
These freshman runners around the country this year have really come on strong. And Rodriguez has his thoughts as to why all the freshmen are having success this year. They've come in early in July with the new rule allowing them to check in and work out during the summer. Slayton, a great example of a young man coming in, working hard, and getting a chance.
With the dive, he's in. Touchdown. All 7 of Steve Slayton's touchdowns in the last 2 games. He had 6-5 on the ground, 1 catch against Louisville, and on the ground, but airborne to get the Mountaineers the early lead tonight.
Airborne, but never saw the football go across the goal line.
Pat McAfee, another true freshman out of Plum, Pennsylvania, on for the extra point. George Shell, one of the top holders in the country, has it down, and it's up 7-0 Mountaineers.
What do you mean top holders in the country?
You'll never see him miss even the bad snap.
All right.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Suzuki. Introducing the all-new Grand Vitara, the authentic SUV. And Taco Bell. Think outside the box.
7-0 West Virginia, all Steve Slayton on the scoring drive. The burst to get him inside the 1, and then 2 plays later he is in.
You can't draw that play up, the big run that Slayton had, any better than that. And the only thing that you can't add in a chalkboard session is the speed. You know, I mean, boy, vision and speed.
I was going to say vision. You know, give him credit for taking a play that wasn't necessarily designed to go where it ended up, 32 yards. And McAfee's kick goes out of bounds.
Well, I think they're designed to end up in the end zone, right? He got 1 yard short of that. He was close.
Our Big East crew tonight, led by John Smith, referee.
Illegal procedure, kicking team, free kick out of bounds. The ball would be placed at the 35-yard line, first down.
Saturday night, ESPN has a showdown of 2 of the nation's best teams. The number 5 Miami Hurricanes trying to catch Marcus Vick, and number 3 Virginia Tech atop the ACC Coastal Division standings by handing the Hokies their first loss of the season. College football primetime presented by Polaroid on ESPN. Saturday, 7:45 Eastern. Also available in high definition on ESPN HD. Dennis Brown for his second series. 3 and out first time, rolls and fires to a wide open tight end, Dan Murray, who breaks the tackle and is finally powered out right at about the 40 by Jamal Adai and Mike Lorello. A gain of 25 yards.
Yeah, you know what? Watch the left side over here. Murray, how he works his way across the field, and you see how fast and it gets across the line. But it's really taking advantage of an aggressive defense, and you see how they come across the side there. And it's just a nice job of execution by a young quarterback of Brown of getting his feet. Remember I told you earlier, get your feet around and make sure that you see the secondary. The game's faster. He did it that time. For a wide look, and Brown out of the gun. That one well over his target. Intended for Jason Williams, his leading receiver, and the only senior skill position starter for UConn. 5th-year senior out of McKeesport, Pennsylvania. You know, in a game like this, I know you have a quarterback starting for the first time on the road, but as a coaching staff, you have to just call it like it is. We're not expected to win this game on the road against a very good football team. And Randy Edsall's staff has to recognize we need to throw the ball. We got to open it up. There's no way that we can go against a stacked front in here like they have. This is West Virginia's defense. They got 8 men in the box. And they are all over Pauly. On second down, loss of 5. Let's send it down to Holly Rowe.
Well, Dennis Brown came a long way to play tonight for UConn. He's actually from Miami, Florida, and he came on his recruiting visit last January to Connecticut and got snowed in. They just happened to have their biggest snowstorm of the year. His trip got delayed. He was actually in stores for an extra day because of snow. They were a little worried that he wouldn't sign after that, but he did. And they said, you know, looking back, we don't want fair weather kids in our program. We're glad that the weather didn't scare him away, and now he gets to start tonight.
Might as well get used to it. They had 8 inches of snow a few days ago here in Morgantown, and it was gone in a matter of hours. Bizarre storm came up out of nowhere. Pretty comfortable tonight, though. Brown chased by Lorello, who came on the safety blitz, and they'll kick it away on 4th and 15. Leader of this defense, senior Mike Lorello from Powell, Ohio.
Lorello stays around the football, and he has several sacks this season, and his speed coming off the inside there, the lineman just cannot make the adjustment, and the running back is overwhelmed. He doesn't see it coming. But that's what's good about this defense. It's that 3-3-5 deal that they call it, but it's really a defense that can come from any place on the field at any time.
Hussar's second punt will sail into the end zone. West Virginia, 18 days since their overtime victory over Louisville. That was going to be a long break even before their game was hurricaned out at South Florida, rescheduled. But 18 days, players yesterday said, man, we're sick of each other.
You know what?
Can't wait to hit somebody besides ourselves.